right. Ran out of time and missed another Wednesday, so it's Thursday Comics. And well, only two. We have DC's response to Deadpool Batman with Batman Deadpool. And then, oh, look, Impossible Stars. I had forgotten it's been so long since I backed the project. It finally arrived. Was it worth the wait? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. But first, Batman Deadpool. Well, as you may or may not recall, didn't really care all that much for the previous uh, crossover story. Pretty lackluster. Some of the backup stories were a little more interesting, but not by much. This one, on the other hand, is it's a little bit better. Apparently, Eternity and is this now Perpetua, I guess. Well, they get it on, so that explains the crossover, I guess. Anyway, the art is excellent. Grant Morrison does the story, and it's a fun little romp. One thing about Grant Morrison, he doesn't always knock it out of the park. It sometimes seems to be weird for weird's sake and it's that sort of thing. But nevertheless, when it came to multiverse stuff, he never gave up on it. Even when DC said, that's it, Crisis on Infinite Earths wipes it out, and he didn't care. He did his Animal Man stuff. It's just whatever. And there's certainly a point to be made when you allow for the aspects of time travel and stuff like that, alternate timelines, whatever. It's going to be there. So after trying to kill off the multiverse, they ended up creating way more of it than there originally was. It's funny how that works. But anyway, yeah, they team up. And even though more and more Deadpool's becoming more annoying to me. It's like the joke has long since worn off. Maybe that's just me. But nevertheless, there's a few funny gags here and there. And of course you have Batman here. And then as typical, and there's a few nods here, amalgam. Hey, remember that? And then there's the old scene of when the first crossover was Spider-Man and Superman teaming up, that sort of thing. So, little Easter eggs here and all that as they take a tour through it. And then, oh, a mysterious character shows up. Can you guess who it is? It's not Lex Luthor. And then you move on to the backup stories. Well, you get Doctor Strange and John Constantine. Now, you would have thought Doctor Fate, but yeah, John Constantine has gained more prominence. And so, there's that. Plus, Ghost Rider and Swamp Thing take on each other as Doctor Strange and John Constantine are aware that the universes have crossed over and it's a problem and they got to deal with it. But it's mostly all for good fun. And then that's it. So now, instead of having Wolverine and Batman team up, here you have, well, X-23. Are they still calling her? Is this one of those things where, it's like Miles Morales is still called Spider-Man, even though he's in the same universe as Peter Parker, and so they're both Spider-Man. So now you have, the real Wolverine, and then his clone daughter being Wolverine, and then there's yet another clone who's Honey Badger. At least she's got her own name. Why not just call her X-23? It's original. But anyway, so Nightwing and Wolverine. No, not really. Even though technically, yeah, Dick Grayson was not the original Nightwing. Do you know who the original Nightwing was? Superman. Anyway, so they team up on a little silly adventure, basically, and well, girl Wolverine is better and all that. And of course, she has powers and stuff. There you go. Oh, look, They're the heirs. They're both the heirs to the previous ones. So there you go. Cool, huh? And then Harley Quinn, who's been utterly destroyed, and I can't stand anymore. So I don't care. Oh yeah, Hulk's there too, but it doesn't matter. And then you have Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel and Static. So I guess they're going on a date or something. It's over very quickly and doesn't matter. So there you go. The backup's not so great this time. So it's kind of the opposite of the Marvel one. The DC one, well, the main feature is the best part. Yeah. And then in the previous one, as I recall, the the backup stories seem to do a little better. Or maybe I'm remembering that wrong. See, I've already forgotten about it. Yeah, it's too bad. But it's a little gimmicky thing. I'm sure everybody fell for it like I did and bought it, and then they're like, well, but what do you expect? I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It's not like it's permanent unless someone buys out both companies and they combine them into one. Yeah, well, whatever. But nevertheless, there you go. The gimmick's over. Was it everything you hoped it would be? Well, you tell me. But this one, at least for the main feature, which is in the title, is better than the last one. So there you go. How about that? So now, Impossible Stars. It's been so long. Vaguely recall the first one. It had some interesting aspects to it about this full-on science fiction adventure. Uh, you have Richard C. Meyer and Chuck Dixon conceived the story, and then Dixon did the script. Yeah, and here's a little poster comes with it with the spaceship and all that, and some elements of it was interesting about the idea of contacting alien life and how truly alien it would be and all that. You do get a naked girl. That's nice. And the art, it's adequate, and but it's kind of flat, not all that. Yeah, but good enough. So anyway, you've got the main character and how his interaction with the aliens has changed him and all that. The dialogue, it's terrible. It's just downright terrible. I don't, and I mean, if you'd gone full camp and cheesed it up even more, maybe it would be better. And so he hooks up with the girl, and she's gonna be the damsel in distress, and she's so stupid that it's a good thing he was there because you know it wasn't gonna work out. So anyway, right off the bat, some guy gets in and something terrible happens, and there's this infestation. Uh, was it a plan by the aliens? You would think so, but I don't know. I guess Volume 3 might explain it all. But I get the feeling, despite I'm not all that thrilled with the artist, it seems the artist did the most work here. Um, mm, yeah, they highly unlikely that they would survive this, but yeah, it's action adventure in space. It just was very underwhelming, and that's unfortunate. But um, there it is. Yeah, not a great week for your pal, Mr. Nailsin, as far as comic books go. So I guess Batman Deadpool for the win. Um, as far as the crossover goes. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I got there. Hopefully I'll be able to put out the video on a Wednesday for a show called Wednesday Comics. Next week, got a few ideas, and probably going to lean more into revisiting old favorites, um, and going over those rather than dealing with new comics. Because by the time I actually get to them, they're already old anyway. I just I just don't have the time uh, to go out and get them. It's unfortunate. But I don't know. I just like talking about this stuff. Not at the moment, but you know, there's good days and bad days and everything, you know. So anyway, there you go. Batman Deadpool better than Deadpool Batman. I think I think that's the conclusion I'll leave you with. Anyway, see you next time for another really rip-roaring episode of Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday comics, maybe Thursday comics, you know. Meanwhile, for Sunday comics, I'll find a Christmas themed story from the public domain, and I'll read the whole thing to you. Oh boy, you got that to look forward to. So, you know, stick around for more Mr. Nailsin stuff. In the meantime, please pay attention to this very important message.